I'm your host with the most anthropology. Enjoy the video and welcome to Anthropology Gaming. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fortnite 2 Season 1 review. Is it better than Season X? Today we review Fortnite 2 Battle Royale. Is it really better than Season 10? First things first. Before we can even get into that, we must ask ourselves a few questions. Questions being, are some weapons still broken? Is there any mobility in Fortnite? Will the bots get any harder?
Thank you, Anthro, for that lovely intro. I'll be taking it from here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 1. And if you're new here, and those that are old to the channel, welcome back to my channel, Anthropology Gaming. We're here, in Fortnite 2 clips, we make your wildest dreams come true. I get asked all the time, Anthro, are you using aimbot? Nah, B. I just got them flick shots on fleek. But we're not here to talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, as I stated in the beginning, in the intro to this video, today's video will be a review of Fortnite 2 Season 1. Is it really better than Season X? Well, I have a few things to say, and let's talk about it. So, number one, okay? For me personally, I find Fortnite 2 to be much easier in comparison to Season X. I believe reason being, number one, obviously, is because there's a bunch of bots in the game. So you're not always being put in a lobby where there's people who have, let's say your skill cap is out of 5, right? We're just going to put numbers on it. Your skill cap's out of 5. You fight me. You've never played before, but I've been playing for a couple years, right? My skill cap is at like a 10. It is not fair for people who are new to the game to be forced to fight sweats the whole time, because when you go into Fortnite, you want to have fun. You can't have fun if you can't play the game because you died right off rip because the sweat killed you. You know what I'm saying? But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the review. And I wanted to start with something very important. Since we're on the subject of bots anyways, let's talk about the bots. Now, we cannot talk about the bots without talking about patch notes. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Epic Games has put down the hammer. They have put their foot down. Ladies and gentlemen, our patch notes are gone. Any updates that would be coming or have come or would ever come in the future will no longer be announced in patch notes. From now on, just as we had with the harpoon gun, Epic is updating when and whenever they feel like it. They don't have to tell us. We go to sleep and we wake up the next day and there's new shit in the game. Oh my god, mind blown. What is going on? But it's fine. So what I wanted to get at with the bots is bots are harder now. They might not seem hard in this specific gameplay, because I'm not gonna lie, I think I did pretty fairly well in this game, in this match. But bots are harder. Now, if you remember, bots in the past, when they would show up and you would shoot at them, they would build a wall, and that was it. And then, a couple weeks into Season 1, the bots stopped building just walls, and the bots would build a wall and a ramp. I've been doing some experimenting and some testing in games before I started doing the voiceover for this video, and I have noticed, ladies and gentlemen, the bots are getting a little bit sweaty. Yeah, just think about that. Let's take a moment to think about that. Bots sweaty? Yes, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Here at Anthropology Gaming, we love bots. And we love sweaty bots. That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, the bots now are no longer building walls and ramps, but instead bots are building entire structures. I am not joking when I tell you this. I got in a fight with a bot earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, he put up 2 walls, a ramp, and boxed himself in with a 1x1, and then still managed to kill me. That was one sweaty bot. I don't know what's going on with them, but they're definitely a lot harder than when we first met. met them, you know. So that's topic number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, topic number 2 is going to be about weapons. Now, when we think weapons, we think of our favorite guns. For me personally, it was the combat shotgun in Season X, which I'll tell you what, did not last very long because it was kind of broken. But we have some return items in Fortnite 2 Season 1, those being the P90, which let's talk about the P90 real fast. The P90, as I've heard from many people, is extremely broken, and I have to agree. If you are a fan of the spray tactic, where you get a weapon, an auto fire weapon, and you just spray people's builds and break them down and all of that, the P90 is for you. It does an insane amount of damage at close range if you can hit a full spray, and the amount of damage it puts off with headshots is quite significant as well. I would agree that weapons in Fortnite 2 are broken. However, some other return weapons, such as the pump shotgun, which had a lot of complaints in Season X, have been altered. They no longer one pump, or one tap if you prefer, any longer. The pump shotgun has actually become quite bad in comparison to the regular, good old-fashioned tac. Isn't that mind-blowing? However, the sniper rifles are about the same as they were in Season X. The bolt action works the same, and the new heavy isn't actually as strong as the old heavy sniper rifle. So it seems like Epic Games has decided to decrease the amount of damage that some weapons put off to give people a fighting chance. Alrighty, topic number 3 is mobility. Ladies and gentlemen, the mobility in Fortnite 2 Season 1 is absolutely horrendous. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Epic Games has made a mistake. Where did our launch pads go? So the mobility crisis is a huge thing in Fortnite at the moment. Excuse my mic squeaking just then, I apologize. But back to what we're saying. The mobility in Fortnite is not good anymore. They took out our launch pads. There's no longer shock nades. There's no longer impulse nades. We only have these motorboats. And at this current point in time, as I'm doing this voiceover, the motorboat is actually unavailable for play at the moment because of bugs and other relative issues. Now, the mobility could be fixed. I'm not saying that Epic Games is not going to bring any form of mobility back into Fortnite. I believe they're just taking a different approach. For now, yes, the map is way too big for people to be running around the entire game. I've noticed that the storm moves extremely fast now. Like, zones change really fast in comparison to the Season 10 map. And just the mobility options are terrible. Like a boat, you really want me to travel all the way across this island on a boat, on land? Like, there are cars everywhere. Now, the thing about these cars being everywhere is I feel instead of launch pads and shock nades and impulse nades, I think Epic Games is taking a different approach. Starting with the boats, now we have water travel. First, we had the geysers and launch pads, which was aerial travel. I believe Epic Games is now finally working on land travel. And by that, I don't mean hoverboards, I don't mean quad crashers. I mean, think, if I am correct, I believe Epic Games is bringing drivable cars to Fortnite 2 Season 1. Or not Season 1, but to Fortnite at some point. I feel like the cars that we see lingering around the map are going to become drivable at some point because Epic Games is going to hear all the famous YouTubers and hear you guys' comments whenever you guys comment on any posts they make, and they're going to notice that there's no mobility. And I feel like they're going to use the cars that are surrounding the area to give us that sense of more mobility in the game. And then not only would we have land travel, but we would also have the sea travel as well. So, for me personally, I do find And I do agree with the community that the mobility issue in Fortnite is a real thing. It is extremely difficult to get around. Half the time, instead of fighting people, you're fighting for your life just running away from Storm because the zones are moving so fast. Now, speaking of storms, let's get to talking about the Storm. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you noticed, but the Storm moves insanely fast in comparison to Season X. Not only does it take one tick after first zone, but when we hit second zone, it takes 2 ticks, and then 3 ticks, so on and so forth as the zones increase as the zones get smaller and smaller as the match goes on. Now, this is a good idea, but Epic, if you're watching, I doubt it, but if you are, I need you to slow the Storm down a little bit, because we do not have the mobility to cross this map on top of a storm chasing us at an extremely high rate. You guys are making it kind of impossible. To me, it seems like Epic Games is going through a route where instead of being killed by a bunch of sweats, they'd rather see the newbier players just die to storm. So that way they don't feel bad. That way they'll focus on getting themselves into zone rather than just rushing into a fight and then getting dogged or clapped by a sweat and then getting mad. I don't know what they're thinking, but I think cars are coming to Fortnite at some point soon, and hopefully the boats will remain but won't be as broken and bugged out. And hopefully the storm does a little bit less damage. Yes, can we all agree? No more storm? Yeah, can we just land on the ground? What if we had a game where there was no storm? Fortnite is doing some amazing things, and what really makes it hard to figure out what's going on and why it's so hard to do this review and talk about it is, so like I said earlier in the video, ladies and gentlemen, our patch notes are gone. So we don't have any updates of any recent or current activities that are happening in the game. And to me, that's kind of a problem. Or is it? It could be a good thing. You decide. You guys let me know down. You guys let me know down in the comment section how you feel about the things I've said so far. The storm, we can leave the storm for another day, but land travel. Oh, look at that snipe. Land travel, I feel, is a thing that we need. I'm tired of the boats, and I'm sure myself and at least 80% of the community can agree that the boats are not a good sense of transportation for land. Alright, Epic? Give us the cars. They're in the game, so let us drive them. If I can swim and I can drive a boat, I can damn well drive a car. Alright, so let's hop to it. Chop chop, alright? No offense, please don't demonetize me, I mean no harm. Ladies and gentlemen, our final topic is about hacking. As everyone in the Fortnite community is aware of at today's moment, and over the past few days, a famous pro player by the name of Jarvis, part of the FaZe clan, has been perma-banned. If perma-banned basically means permanently banned from ever playing Fortnite ever again. Like, for the rest of his life, he can no longer play. For those of you that are not aware of the situation and what happened, why he got banned for life, basically, long story short, ladies and gentlemen, here at Anthropology Gaming, we do not like nor appreciate cheaters. Ladies and gentlemen, that is right. FaZe Jarvis was finally caught cheating in Fortnite games. Apparently, the whole time that he's been playing, he's been using aimbot. A lot of people might say aimbot's not cheating, blah blah blah. Aimbot is definitely hacking. It is definitely cheating. It is in Epic Games' terms of service, and if you break terms of service, it does say that the company, they can sue you. So technically, ladies and gentlemen, what FaZe Jarvis did was technically illegal. And I do believe that he should stay permanently banned. I know a lot of you might not agree with me, but in retrospect, if you think about it, if the pro player is using aimbot while the rest of us out here are working as hard as we can to get good at the game, but it turns out the pros are just hacking the whole time, that's not fair to the rest of the community. And I'm glad that Epic Games is making an example out of Jarvis, because he is a pro player that inspires thousands, scratch that, billions of people on the planet. And how does it look to Epic Games if they allow pro players to use hacks and they get caught and nothing happens? That makes Epic Games look bad. So ladies and gentlemen, hacking is not okay. Like I said at Anthropology Gaming, we do not appreciate nor respect hackers. I believe if you hack or you cheat, you do some kind of software to make the game easier for you, you deserve to be banned. I totally agree. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this review, like I said, there wasn't much to talk about because we don't have that much information, especially with the removal of patch notes. But if you appreciate what I tried to do and you agree with some of the things, or even if not, like I said, let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys joining me today in this review video. I'm your host, Anthropology. This has been a review of Fortnite 2. Season 1, is it better than Season X? And ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, I think Season X is actually better. It's not nearly as toxic. We don't have to worry about mobility issues. And it just seemed a little bit more, it was just more fun overall in my opinion. But I'm glad we got to talk about the things we talked about today. Go out there and when you play your games, talking about those bots, see if those bots really are building new structures. See what things you can find and discover. And then when you discover them, share them with us on YouTube so that way the world can know, since Epic Games don't want to give us patch notes no more. Alright, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me and thank you for tuning in. I'm your host with the most, Anthropology. This has been Anthropology Gaming, a review of Fortnite 2 Season 1, and I'm gonna go to bed. Peace out.